you got to really set yourself apart. You got to be totally different. You got to be a totally different orange to everybody else's apple. You can't even try and compete with any of the chains. You can't try and sell yourself as selling the same product. You don't want to be just another pizzeria, just like the chains are. You know, if they line you up down the street, you want to stand out as something totally different. You got to be totally against the grain. You don't want to be selling the same thing they're selling. I mean, you've got to get people that really love what you're selling so much that they're willing to pay what your prices are. They want your experience, they want your service, they want your product, and they don't even view it in the same ballpark or not even in the same class as everything else. Is while at the same time I'm very upset and very aggravated and irritated at the way things are today, you know, you can still be very, very successful if you're willing to work hard at it. Like I said earlier, you know, you used to be able to just open up shop. People come in, you make them a pizza, you give them a pizza, you take some money, and at the end of the day, you've got more money than, you know, you've got more money left in your bank account than when you started. You know, it's not that way anymore. You've got to spend just as much time now being a business person as being a pizza guy. You know, it used to be you could just be come in, make some, like I said, make some pizza, make some food, take some money, and yeah, it's okay. Now you've got to spend just as much time working on the business side of it as you do in the kitchen side of it. So as long as you're willing to focus hard on the business aspect of running a pizzeria, as you are willing to put in the hard time of running your oven, developing the recipes, you know, if you're willing to do that, you're going to be fine. The two biggest things you got to get past when you want to start focusing on your business, not your kitchen. Getting out of the kitchen and running your business. The two biggest things you got to get over yourself. You know, a lot of guys, you know, I'm the only one that knows how to run the oven. I'm the only guy that can make this pizza the right way. You know, not always true. Usually not true. I do actually have some people that, you know, as I've gotten older, can outdo me. You know, hate to say that, but I do have some people that can do a better job than I can running the oven. And you gotta get over yourself. You've got to let go. You've got to relinquish control somewhat. Yes, things are going to change. It's not going to be the same. But you got to make a decision. Do I want to grow my business? Do I want to survive, or do I want to be the pizza nuts? You gotta figure out what you want to do. So you got to get over yourself. You got to be willing to give control up. You got to let those employees that can and will excel. You got to let them excel. And then too, you got to develop a system for just about everything in your restaurant. Every single thing that gets done needs a system, a checklist, a procedure, something written up, training. You've got to put all that together.
Real structure.
Structure, yeah, exactly, structure. You've got to have structure so they know exactly what they need to do. When you're there all the time, you know what needs done. It's all up here. You know, it's in your head. When you go home at night, none of these guys know what you really know to do. You may have told them, but when you go home, they can't remember. So, you know, structure needs to be set up so you can actually disappear off the face of the earth for a month and nobody even knows you're coming. The advantage that an independent has is, as me as an independent, I can do whatever I want, anytime, any day. I can change my logo tomorrow, I can change my recipe tomorrow, change it today. I can decide to stay home and not even open my store if I want to. I give the employees the day off. I can see something happening and I can react to it right now. I can say, you know what, this is going on, I need to make a change. Give you an example. I had the opportunity, I mean, on the back end of it, food cost, distributor came to me and said, hey, we have a slightly different cheese that we need to move. It's still good. You know, we use Grande. It was another brand, a version or type of Grande. We need to move it. I'll make you an awesome deal if you were willing to take it. I know my recipe. I know exactly how it works. I can make it work. You know, I save like thousands of dollars. Chain down the street can't do that. They've got to stick to their corporate guidelines. they're never going to have that opportunity. You know, marketing comes up, I can see a competitor getting ready to gear up for a big event, and I can try and pull the rug out from underneath them. You know, I can try and head them off the path so their event doesn't go anywhere. I can roll out a new ad tomorrow if I want to. I can print new flyers right now. I can do everything spur of the moment. I can change my recipe and do whatever I want.